see this video. El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, was spotted in Imo State yesterday advising the Igbo youth to go and register for PVC, for voters registration card against 2027 election. One of the events, and Peter B was there. They were there together. Just take your time, watch. He said when it comes to election, the East, the Igbos, the Easterners, they are always lagging behind in terms of the voters, things like that. That this time around, the game is going to be, it's not going to be they say that they should go and register and their vote will be counted in 2027. That's El-Rufai for you. Peter B was there too, and Peter B also spoke in that event. And watch the trending video. Armed robbers, how armed robber kidnap a full boss in the bush. The video has been trending, all in the name of we live in a country that is not secure, that a president does not care, or what is going on does not concern the president, does not concern even the state governor, because this, according to them, they don't have access, they don't have control over security, they cannot do anything, they are handicapped until they take order instruction from Abuja. Now the Abuja is not giving matching order to them, they are handicapped, there's nothing they can do until people don't buy finish. So take your time, listen to the video, see how armed robber are the kidnappers on the road. Just see the video. Anyways, we'll come back and talk about it, but please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guide on that for me now. This is the only way to support so that YouTube can continue recommending these channel videos to others. Let's go there. Please subscribe.
Because the governance of our country today is democratic. We elect our leaders. We don't select them. We don't appoint them. So vote is important. Registering to vote is a civic duty. It's not a political imperative. It is a civic duty which, as a citizen, you must take advantage of. Looking at the numbers of the continuous voter registration in Nigeria in the last 2 weeks, the southeast, including Imo State, of course, are lagging behind the rest of Nigeria. I want to appeal to you, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters that are in this room, to please take this up and get our children that are 16 years and above, who will be 18 years in 2 years and ready to vote, to please go out and register to vote. It is very, very important.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Those days, I woke up and for the first time, nobody was feeling well. And they said, no, you can't go anywhere. But I already have a schedule to speak at the medicine in Enugu this morning, in Oka and Sabakna. Come to Owerri. I told them I'll go and I start tomorrow. So I'm happy that I achieved all of them. At least I'm here tonight. Thank you, El-Rufai. We welcome you sincerely to this state. It's a very good state for the people that. And I thank God for coming out to welcome me. Listen to me speak and everything. All I have said is that thank you for coming out and thank you for visiting us. Everything is told you, principle, told you what to do, you participate in the election. Go out and become a vanguard of all these people to go and register. Don't say, oh, well, we are not part of it, we are not part of it.
And they hear them now, so they don't carry the entire bush. Now football and
Camry. Not be one bus, oh.
They started their back, they are luggage.
Jesus Christ.
They bought motor.
They bought motor. Now yeah, they carry the pass. See one woman for.
They don't enter bush.
They don't enter bush.
You see people go, all this one gone. Jesus. No, this is not too much now. They also catch them. Look at what they can talk and say last week. They don't come out.
They don't come out.
See like that last week.
Last 2 weeks.
And where are they go?
Where are they go?
Simple down here. Where are they go? Where are they go? They don't enter.
Where are they go? Where are they go?
They don't enter bush. They don't enter bush.
Where are they go?
They don't enter bush. Where are they go? You know that is nothing on my brother. Hey, don't play.
Police are there.
Police are there. They don't come out. Police are there.
Police are there.
Police. We don't get police are there. We don't get police.
Calm down, calm down.
Why this one I hear? Listen, why you talking? Say inside last week. Let's
Last 2 weeks.
Jesus, you have to join us now.
All this one, video.
Better want those people for there. Why because like Jesus? I don't want to hear one. Wait, let that one go back. No. Go back.
Because we can see through the man's heart. He has succeeded in opening himself up to the people. We have seen the truth. So, for those who rigged him out in 2023, if you think by painting him black, he will lose the clout, he will lose his followers, you are joking. Be prepared to rig him again. If you rigged him in 2023, be prepared to rig Peter Obi again in 2027. Now go rig tire. You will rig and die rigging. And then your name will enter in the history books as the chief rigger in Nigeria history of election. You, the INEC chairman, if you permit that, you will enter the history books as the worst INEC chairman that we ever had. So if you rigged Peter Obi before, be ready to rig him. Because those who believe in him will never turn their backs on him. Some of us have vowed that wherever Peter Obi goes in 2027, we will follow. If you like, go to PDP. If you like, go to Labour Party. If you like, go to ADC. If you like, deputize Atiku. Anywhere you go, we will follow. Because we know you mean well. We know you mean well. It is either Peter Obi or nobody. It doesn't matter the party that wins to their sides, all the governors. It doesn't matter. Who was the governor of Lagos State when Peter Obi won Lagos State in 2023? Was he a member of Labour Party? Who was minister of FCT when Peter Obi won the federal capital in 2023? So it's not about how many governors a party have on its side. It's about the people, the interest of the people. So whoever you are, Reno Omokri, Deji Adeyoju, Kenneth Okoko, and let me tell you people, there is a single way of knowing bad people in this country. Anybody you see attacking Peter Obi constantly is a bad man. The reason why a man like Deji Adeyoju will be attacking Peter Obi so vigorously is because he thinks that he can still convince those who follow Peter Obi to dislike the man. Whether it is Reno Omokri, Kenneth Okonkwo, or Umahi, or Chasoludo, anyone who speaks ill of Peter Obi, hoping that he could still be able to convince his followers to dislike him, is wasting his time. Because what they do not understand is that the kind of followership that Peter Obi gathers in Nigeria is cult followership. When I say cult, like members of the same cult who have entered into an oath of loyalty. You see, the lovers of Peter Obi are fanatical about Peter Obi. And there's nothing anybody says that can discourage us from following him. So many of us have declared that come 2027, wherever Peter Obi goes, there we go. So if you like, keep hating on him. It won't change a damn thing. I can assure you that those who voted for him in 2023 will still vote for him in 2027. If he pay you, go home transformer. We go still follow him. The only people who will not vote for Peter Obi are the tribal bigots, those who have collected money and will sell their votes, those who are benefiting from this corrupt system that we have now. Those are the three sets of people who will likely not vote for Peter Obi. But for us, the natural followers of Peter Obi, there is nothing anybody can do about it. So they are attacking him, hoping, saying all manner of things, hoping that some of his followers can be convinced to dislike him. You are joking. Come out today and tell us Peter Obi used to be an armed robber. Nobody is going to believe you. Who they follow me, no, they misroad. I'm not mincing word. As long as the person consistently attacks Peter Obi, he is not a good person. You are hating a man that the people are loving. Not be witchcraft be that. The people are loving him. You are hating on him. And because of that, you have sustained a campaign of calumny against him. That is witchcraft. Not be only to fly for night, be witch. You be witch. Anybody, when they hate on Peter Obi, the attacker, you be witch. Because that man did nobody any wrong. We have been able to see through him. That's why they are following him. From the east to the west to the north to the middle belt. From Edo State to Benue to Plateau to Anambra to Lagos to Abuja to Kaduna to Sokoto to Yobe. It is Peter Obi. So wherever you go, we will go. Wherever you go, we will follow. It doesn't matter Even if you deputize somebody in 2027, we will still follow you go there, because we know you will lead this country. So let those who are attacking you continue. The reason I say that maybe Peter Obi should have ignored them is that they are like birds or chicken pecking on the shell of a tortoise. You know how hard the shell of a tortoise is? We are not even hearing them. A chicken that is pecking on the shell of a tortoise, we only damage its beak, because the back of a tortoise is very hard. So we, the obedience, we are the shell of a tortoise. Peck on us as you like, you cannot penetrate our shell. The relationship we have with Peter Obi is like the shell of a tortoise. Peck as long as you can. You can't reach our flesh.
Can't you see the suffering that Nigerians are going through just 2 years into Tinubu's presidency? So Atiku, this is my final advice to you. Many Nigerians have been calling upon you to step aside and allow Peter Obi. You have tried to be president more than 6 times. This is going to be the 7th time. The God that you trust in, the Allah you call upon and pray to. Can't you see the handwriting on the wall that you have tried and tried? You've done your part. You were vice president. What else are you looking for? You want to divide the vote so that Tinubu will continue as president, for Nigerians to continue to suffer? I am calling upon you to do the needful now. If Nigerians wanted you, by now you should have been president. Why don't you step aside? Forget your personal agenda. Forget your personal ambition. Atiku, don't be selfish. Think of Nigeria first. Atiku Abubakar, this is a sincere appeal. Don't let personal ambition stand in the way of collective progress. Don't allow your long-standing desire for power to blow your judgment or silence the voice of the people. 2027 is not just another election. It's an opportunity to rescue and rebuild Nigeria. The stakes are too high for ego to lead and for history to refresh energy, broader acceptance, and momentum. Do the honorable thing now. Step aside. Support unity. Let your legacy be one of wisdom, not just ambition. True leadership sometimes means knowing when to lead, and other times knowing when to support. Nigeria needs a win and not a split. Let history remember you for not how long you pursued power, but for the moment you put Nigeria first. Alhaji Atiku, Nigeria is bleeding, people are dying, people are suffering, people are hungry, and we cannot afford another 4 years of a Tinubu regime. We are not saying that you're the only one that will bring about the win, but we are saying don't divide the votes. And I call upon the ADC coalition, unless if the ADC coalition was formed secretly with a plan to bring in Atiku to stand in as their presidential candidate. But if it was not so, if you truly mean well for Nigeria and you want to see a change, don't allow Atiku to stand in. Nigerians don't want him. It's obvious that Nigerians want change. They want Peter Obi. Shouldn't you be happy with that? You believe in the will of Allah. Why don't you accept it? We can't afford another 4 years of Tinubu after these 2 years are done. So the time has come. We must all stand together and say, no, not anymore. Atiku, do the needful. This is my last call to you. I'm not going to do another broadcast to call upon you. They say a word is enough for the white. Advocating and saying PDP has said it must be north, south, and that time it was the turn of the south. But even though that was what PDP stood for, what did Atiku do? He stood again from the north. He's trying to do the same thing. Mr. Atiku, you're doing the same thing again. Tinubu is now going for 4 years. Then there's another 4 more years for a southerner. Since Tinubu has destroyed Nigeria, and it's obvious Nigerians don't want him. So that's that people don't want to be. Is it because people are scared? What are they scared for? Because they want to continue corruption? They want to continue to loot the resources of the nation, destroy the nation, while people are suffering, they are enjoying. Anybody that's starting to support Atiku now, I think they are supporting a second term of Tinubu. I know I came in peace, but it's getting to me right now. I don't know what else to say. Mr. Atiku, please do the right thing. And I call upon you, David Mark and Adegochola, please you people do the right thing. All the people that are under AGC, except if you people have already done a secret deal and it's all window dressing from the outside, making it look as if we are all coming together in a coalition, but already behind closed doors, they've already decided who will be. The only thing you can prove people like myself wrong, that there was no prior arrangement to all this so-called coalition, then do an open primary. In fact, today, do a national poll to ask people, in this ADC coalition, who would you want to be the flag bearer or the presidential candidate under this coalition? Just ask normal Nigerians and hear what they will say. Don't allow a few people to go and say they are doing a primary when we know how corrupt the primaries are. We saw it in the same thing. You try an open primary. Call all the people to come that are in support of this coalition and let them do a primary. I can tell you for sure that there is no way that Atiku will win. I'm telling you, don't hand over 2027 win on a platter of gold to Tinubu by bringing in Atiku. Please, Mr. Atiku, do the right thing. Your close friends have called upon you. Northerners have called upon you. People from the Middle Belt, people from the South. What else do you want? Do you want God to show to you that it is not his will for you to be president? He gave you a chance to be vice president. They want somebody from the South, and it is now the turn of the South. Buhari was incompetent. Nigerians suffer under him. Yet, they allowed him to rule for 8 years. And now Tinubu is obviously incompetent. He said he came to continue where Buhari stopped. Now he has taken the suffering of Nigerians to the next level. And we want to see change. Give a fresh blood a chance. Give somebody from the southeast a chance. Obasanjo from the southwest had the opportunity to govern Nigeria for 8 years. After Obasanjo, he went to the south. Then went to the north, where Buhari took the nation down for 8 years. Tinubu has come now for a 4-year term. 2 years Nigeria is already gone, and we don't want that to continue. Then some people are advocating that no, power needs to go to the north. Why must it be north-north? Okonko is calling for power to the north. Why? Is it because you are supporting Atiku? What will Atiku do? You were supporting Peter Obi. You said several times that they stole the election, that you were so sure Peter Obi was the winner. So if you knew he won, why would you now start saying that he doesn't stand a chance? And you're talking about how the politics works and that the northern vote. I am a northerner. The support for Peter Obi has increased. Many people in the north want Peter Obi, not Atiku. If we wanted Atiku, we would have given him a chance. We have not been electing him. Anytime you have seen him get votes from the north, it's because there was no other alternative. I am begging you, it's time to give somebody a chance from the southeast. What is our problem with the Igbos? We come and say one Nigeria, one Nigeria. Now they change the national anthem and brought the old one to talk about we being together. But it's all a lie. It's all lip and mouth service. I don't know what is our problem. Why are we afraid of the people from the southeast? Then we say we are one Nigeria. When they are now saying they want to leave Nigeria so that they can have Biafra, we fight it. If we know they are not important, why are we not letting them go? Now when they come to power, we don't trust them. All of us northerners must team up behind of it. We have suffered under our own so-called northerners. Why did Wike destroy PDP? He destroyed it because he said it was the turn of the South and that the ticket should be sold to somebody from the South. That was his fight. That was his grievance. So why should it now be okay to say that it should remain in the North? That time when they were
putting out statements or posting on X, Obi is always pretty quick to make his stance known about any given issue that's going on. But for someone who has been a mainstay in the media since running for president in 2023, he's also been subject to a number of critiques. Recently, there were allegations that Obi, also the two-term governor of Anambra State, was being targeted for trolling on social media. But how true is this really? So, joining us now is Dapo Adaramewa. He's a member of the Obedient Movement, which is a leading political support group for Mr. Obi. It's really good to have you here. And, you know, social media trolling is essentially the posting of deliberate, offensive content online to kind of get reactions out of people, stir up some sort of, you know, controversy. I would suspect that a lot of public figures should expect this kind of response, just because whether you're a celebrity, whether you're a politician or a leader, people will admire you, but you'll also naturally get some critique. So how are you thinking about this as someone, as part of this movement? How does Peter Obi kind of experience trolling, if at all?
Well, thank you very much. Now, it is to be expected. People, and we do live in a free country in the sense that we have the freedom of speech and you can express yourself. And just because in the course of expressing yourself, you also once entertain the idea that you might offend somebody, that's part of a democratic process. Now, Mr. Obi himself has been a victim of trolling consistently. I think it only becomes a problem when people start to make false claims and false narratives, at which point it becomes defamation, which is protected by law. So if it's just normal critics of they don't agree with his opinions, that's perfectly fine. But when people start to make false accusations, it is very important to, you know, obviously clear your name. I'm sure none of us here would like somebody to constantly go and lie and make claims about things that happened when we all know they didn't happen. So like any other person, he has a right to, you know, even sue people to court if they are found wanting for defamation.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just also curious as to what does that look like? Is it, you know, replies on Twitter? Is it Facebook? Like, where are you seeing the majority of this trolling as regards to Peter Obi?
No, you see, Peter Obi himself is the most popular presidential candidate, arguably the most popular, the most relevant candidate in Nigeria today. And he doesn't shy away from the public. You see, usually politicians in Nigeria keep this, there's this air of superiority, right? And that's why people love him. He's constantly on Twitter Spaces. He's constantly going out there, meeting people in different meetings, in town halls, traveling around the country. We've seen videos of him up in the north, different areas, and he's engaging with people directly. So he's not afraid of people saying things particularly, but overwhelmingly the reception for His Excellency Peter Obi has been absolutely fantastic. The people love him because the people recognize him to be the change that we need in this country.
And, you know, in the past, Peter Obi has been called a social media candidate, kind of like what you said. How, you know, as a member of the Obedient Movement, how are you thinking about this characterization, especially in the context of what might happen in 2027? How are you guys using social media to position, you know, what we might see in 2027?
Yeah, I mean, the idea that he's a social media candidate was played in 2023, and we all saw what happens at the polls, right? We had over 6 million votes, at least that's what they counted for us. We believe we got a lot more than that. That goes to show that for a candidate who was in none of the two major parties to go ahead, come in third officially, right, and get over 6 million votes, it isn't a social media candidate. He is the candidate that speaks to the people, because Nigerians are desperate for something honest. They're desperate for something different, and fundamentally that's what he brings to the table.
Interesting. Within the last few weeks or so, the federal government also shut down 13 million social media accounts in Nigeria for offensive content, violations of, you know, the code of practice. I think it's also interesting to think about our social media habits as Nigerians, how Nigerians use social media, what we're talking about online, and how a lot of that actually is very offensive content, right?
I think social media is geared to anything that elicits an emotional response. And that is why all sorts of things blow up on social media, right? But the normal day-to-day interactions don't really make the news. And that's why it feels like there's a whole lot happening, or Twitter is full of critics. Most people are just expressing their opinions. People are sharing very relatable content, information, things that edify the soul and the body, right? But we tend to always focus on the negative. So I don't think Nigeria has any profound problem with social media. In fact, I think people deserve the right to be able to express themselves freely in a free country. If anything, it's the laws around the use of social media that I worry about, you know, the use of some of these acts to basically have people arrested. And we've seen it in the Twitter space, simply because they're you know, checking power. They're asking fundamental questions about governance, about how the country is going, and people should have that right.
And something you said earlier I found really interesting is just how available, I guess, you kind of characterized Peter Obi as making himself to the public. How do you think leaders should be thinking about that going into 2027? Do you think that because he's made himself so available, we can expect other leaders to kind of follow suit and avail themselves more to the public, maybe be more active on social media, or what, you know, how do you think he's kind of moved the needle in that way?
You see, Peter Obi is uniquely positioned to put himself in front of Nigerians, right? Simply because he's an honest man and he has integrity. When you have things to hide, you cannot go into the public space. You can't interact with people because it's an uncontrolled environment. People might ask questions around things that you've done in the past. Like the president can't have an open dialogue with people because we would ask him questions about what's happening in River State. We would challenge him. So a lot of politicians hide behind that, right? But Peter Obi can step into the public eye because he is a man of integrity. And fundamentally, that is what we need in Nigeria. Because let's face facts. No matter what you do in a corrupt system, corruption is like a mold. It will eat it up. There's the student loans, fantastic idea. Nobody can debate that, right? But look at what happened in the execution. Look how corruption has swallowed up the bulk of that money. Look what happened with the students' union and all of the whole mess. So no matter what policies you bring in, if you cannot eradicate corruption, you cannot do anything for the people. And Peter Obi is the only candidate, because of his personal integrity, who has the moral standing to hold the whole system to account, to change the political system for Nigerians.
What can we expect to hear either from the Obedient movement or Peter Obi? You know, everyone wants to know, you know, what can we expect to see between now and 2027? Do you have any insight? Or
I mean, I can tell you what we will see in 2027 after the election. It will be a well-drafted, a loving and uniting speech, thanking the Nigerian people for making him the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You listen to that. You see, let me tell you this. The comparison between Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu is not comparable. There is no comparison between them. Peter Obi is far better than them. You can't even compare. You can't even compare. So there's no need deliberating or contemplating or doing comparison analysis on who to give ADC tickets to. Now the news outside is even a lot of Northerners had been begging Atiku to step down for Peter Obi. Step down. This Northerners, they call me Northerners, asking Atiku to step down for Peter Obi. So I do not know what is Atiku's problem. You want to continue running. It doesn't mean that if Atiku dies tomorrow, that means the political interest or in terms of president, so the interest is there. There's nobody to contest for the president if Atiku dies, because feel like it is his birthright that he must be a president of this country. Time has gone. You did sister, you couldn't get it. What gives you the assurance is that this time around you could get it? So there's no point wasting the opportunity. Give it to somebody who deserves it, who Nigerians truly want to kill behind. Rather make sure that they get it, rather than saying instead of Atiku to continue, instead of Atiku to take over from Tinubu should just continue. So it doesn't make any sense. As far as now we have options. We have options better than any others. So there's no point wasting time. If you're talking about Atiku, Do you understand? So Atiku should go relax, be a political advisor to this man. When Peter Obi wins this election, then you be an advisor, elderly statesman, advise them on political issues. Is there anything you can advise and you can contribute? Make sure you see the administration succeed. Do you understand? In terms of insecurity, you have what it takes to solve the problem of insecurity until you becomes the president before you can solve it. Now, give it to this man to do it. Then when he comes, then share the ideas, give him, encourage him, let's solve the problem. If Peter, okay, let's put it this way, if Peter Obi succeeded as a president, you also succeeded because you part of the administration, they will still give it to you. Then people, Nigerians, will see the role you play in Peter Obi's administration. Say, okay, it was because of Atiku that makes Peter Obi succeeded in this administration. It was because of Atiku that makes insecurity. Peter Obi was able to end insecurity, banditry, kidnapping because of Atiku. Then they give you credits to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it must not be until you becomes the president before you could do all these things that I just talked about. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's how it should be. You should not waste this opportunity to say because you want to be the president, this and this and that. Your time has gone. Go home and relax. Do you understand? Now, the argument is a lot of APC supporters, them with their sacrifice and propaganda, saying that the headlines outside saying that things are getting better. That's what they always tell you. They tell you that things are getting better. Price of food and services are coming down. Now, a bag of rice is now 60,000. That means your minimum wage cannot buy a bag of rice for you. Nonsense. That's bullshit. So you can use your minimum wage, your salary, 1 month salary, just to buy a bag of rice. It's not even going to buy you a bag of rice, because by the time you deduct your transportation, your feeding allowance for the cost of the month, take your feeding allowance just for you, feeding allowance, your transportation. When you deduct that, it's not going to buy you a bag of rice. Do you understand? So what is the celebration? You are celebrating that things are getting better. The bag of rice was 100,000 naira. Now it's coming down. Now it's 60,000 naira. Bullshit. How much? Where the Tinubu met it that like this, we play gradually things until when? Until you are dead of this thing. No, that's not it. That's not it. These people should stop misleading Nigerians, saying that things are getting better without statistics. Before anybody could say that things are getting better, Nigeria, Tinubu is getting it right, this and that, until Tinubu first of all reduce maybe before 2027, that election, if there is any magic he could do, or which I am very sure that there is no magic to this. It's not a rocket science. There's no magic to it. That if he could try his best to reduce the price of fuel and services to where Buhari left, where Tinubu met, when Tinubu took over, the price of this bag of rice we're talking about, where it was, return it. The dollar rate at that time, dollar against naira, return it back to where it was. It was four something. It was between 465 then. Between 440 something to 465 official rate at that time. Then when you go to parallel market, or you call it a black market, it was between 740 to 765 then black market when Tinubu took over. Now it's still over 1,500 pounds. Is over 2,000 until Tinubu able to reduce the price of this back to where it was at that time. Then we could say, okay, things are now normal. Tinubu did not take us anywhere. He didn't add anything to this. He had not done anything. The price of food and services remain where they were. The dollars, pounds, they are not remain where they were at that time. Then we cannot say, okay, because all these things are still in present touch, food, everything is not okay. If he is not able to reduce it beyond that price level, fuel, let's not forget, price of fuel, right? Now the CNG alternative they talked about, the subsidy, they took away the subsidy again. Now the price has gone up again. It was 200 or something. Now it's now 400 or something. 400 plus now, because they said the subsidy gone alternative. Now it has gone up. So where is the hope? Where is the hope? Until you reduce this to where they were before, then we cannot access other infrastructure, other area you have been able to touch to say, okay, because you do this, these policies are going to work and start reducing the price of these food and services, further reducing them. We could not say, okay, we never thought it's possible. But as it is now, it's hopeless. Hopelessness is what we see, and there's no it's not a magic. There's no magician to it, and it's not going to be possible for Tinubu to do this within less than 2 years in office. And during that election in next year, now before that time, you see a lot of things are going to go, because a lot of money, they will be holding some money. Things are still going to go up at that time. The dollars are still good because they will be stacked. A lot of dollars will be scarce at that time, or even some money will be scarce because they will be holding some money for the election. So there's no magic. It's not going to, this Tinubu cannot perform any magic. Anyways, what do you think? Peter Obi still remain number one. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please remember to go yourself register for PVC and come out 2027. Peter Obi or nobody. Please share.